Well, hello and welcome to Mental Game Secrets They Don't Want You to Know About. I'm David Breslow, founder of Performance Success Strategies and creator of Wired to Win, the most effective performance approach and model on the market today. So, just a reminder, you heard it in the intro. This is not your traditional model or approach because we go to the end, your true desire, which is to play your best, not continually helping you prepare to be your best, but actually be your best now. So let's get right into today's secret that they don't want you to know about. It has to do with being relaxed so that you can hit the ball and play with ease and power. Take notes, of course. You're always invited to take notes. And here we go. Let's dive right in. In today's lesson, I want to address what almost every teaching pro has mentioned to me as an obstacle, and that is their students tend to be too tense and too uptight when they're learning. And of course, traditional models and approaches will talk about how players are over trying, how they're slipping into perfectionism, and how important it is to relax with all the physiological research and the psychological research about what all that means. But honestly, don't you already know? You already know what it feels like to be tense and uptight and what it does to your body and your game. You don't need research data for that. And this might also involve some breathing exercises, which are fine. Actually, breathing properly is obviously great and something you want to do. But I'm going to ask you to do something a little different here today. Tension is probably the number one killer of a powerful and flowing stroke. And that's actually true no matter what the sport: tennis, golf, basketball, it really doesn't matter. Instead of forcing yourself to relax by understanding stress and what tension is and the psychology behind it and a whole bunch of more stuff to think about, which is what many players try to do, I want to give you a little exercise I call the tension rater drill. And it takes you to the end, your true desire, and bypasses all that other garbage that you don't have to deal with. So here's how it works. On the practice court, I'm going to ask you to hit 10 serves. I'm going to use the serve for the example here, but you can do this with any stroke. But let's talk about the serve for a moment. I'm going to ask you to hit each ball one at a time. And on each swing, I'm asking you to rate your level of tension from 1 to 10, with 10 being very tense and 1 being very relaxed and everything in between. Now, to make this work even more effectively, pick one area of your body, the area that you already know or have an understanding or have an insight that is probably already tight. It could be your hands, your forearms, your chest, your legs, and even your face. So here's how it works. After each swing, I'm going to ask you to give yourself a number. That's right. After each swing, just stop for a moment and ask yourself, what was the number? This is where many players fall down because they're so busy looking at the results and judging it. Please let me remind you, this drill has nothing to do with results. Nothing. We're only focused on the body part that you have chosen and the tension level there. Do you get it? Do you get it? Really? So let me give you an example. I'm going to use myself. Let's say I've chosen my hands to focus on. The hands are a pretty common place to get over tight, especially on a serve. I'm going to take a swing, and as soon as I'm done with that swing, my mind registers the number 7. I'm now going to hit a second ball. And on this next swing, what I need to do is relax to something that I think is going to be lower than a 7. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get my hands to be more relaxed. Now, you could shake them out physically. You could breathe. You could talk to yourself. You figure out what you need to do, and you will be able to figure it out in order to bring that number a little lower. So let's say on the second swing, I registered actually a higher number. Let's say it was a 9. Okay, this happens all the time with players doing this drill. But here's what I want you to know. This tells you that I was trying too hard. And that's what many tennis players do on the court as well. When you hit a good shot, you all of a sudden feel the pressure to try to duplicate that shot. And usually this doesn't work, does it? No, it does not. So now you have to now your task is to focus on this next swing only, your third swing, and loosening up your hands even a little more. So let's say I do that and I take my third swing, and this time I register a 5. And I'm clearly going in the right direction. Here's one of the beautiful points of this exercise. As you lower the number by hitting a few balls and getting better at relaxing the specific body part that you're focusing on, at the same time, you're training your mind by giving it a reference point. And there's actually a really subtle other thing happening, is that you're focusing on one swing at a time. That's an automatic byproduct. Don't you see that I can only focus on the next swing, and my focus is on reducing the tension in the body part that I chose. So I'm automatically refining my focus to the next shot. Beautiful. So this is the beauty of this exercise. Let's say one of your swings registers a number 3, meaning that you're very relaxed. Your brain is going to use that number as a reference point. So when you go out to the court and you start to notice that you're uptight or hesitating or tense, any level of being tense or uptight, all you need to do is remember the number 3. Just repeat the number 3 to yourself. 3, 3. And what that will do is trigger your brain to remember what a 3 felt like. And your body will actually start to have that same feeling of relaxation right here, right now. Isn't that cool? I find it much easier to do this than to try to force myself to relax through affirmations or just breathing or all the other tools that I mentioned earlier in this audio. You don't need to remember all those tips and strategies. You can bypass all of that. Just do this exercise. Give yourself that reference point number. Your body will register how that feels, and it will move in that direction when you remind it. You see, traditional approaches want to load you down with more things to think about. And I find this much easier, and so do a lot of players around the world. You can bypass all that stuff, all that mental game gobbledygook, I call it. So give it a try. Please give this a try. You might just really like it. So Dave Breslow, glad to be with you again. I'll look forward to talking to you in the next lesson. Take care.